All right, so today you're working on ratios. Your warm-up is 3 ratio problems to solve. Then your task today is a 3-act task. That should be fun. There are more directions about the 3-act task when you get to that next. Then Khan Academy, followed by Alex, and then your daily reflection. Our daily reflection numbers are low. Please make sure you're getting that done. It's a way for me to check in and see what you got done for the day and for you to give me any feedback, ask me any questions. So today you are going to work on some ratio problems. I'm going to go over some strategies to solve. So we're going to take a look at this question here as an example. Belina and Natalia had a bake sale to raise money. Belina made $3 to every $2 Natalia made. Together, the girls raised $120. How much did each girl raise? My big strategy is always a ratio table. So I like to figure out, what are we comparing? I know Belina to Natalia is $3 to $2. And then I know that together they raised $120. So I'm going to set up a ratio table comparing how much Belina raised to Natalia raised. I know is 3 to 2. Now, the next piece of information they give me is that together they raised 120. So that tells me that I need another column for the total, what they made together. So a lot of times with ratio problems, you'll set up the two part to part, and you might need the whole. You might need the total also. So if Belina made 3 and Natalia 2, that's a total of 5. But we know that we want to get to 120 in total. And then we want to figure out how much each girl raised. So I need to figure out 5 times what gets me to 120. Well, the opposite of multiplication is division. So I could do 120 divide by 5. 5 times 2 is 10. And I have 2 left over. 5 times 4 is 20. So 5 times 24 got me to 120. So I should do the same thing with every other part of the table. Multiply by 24. 24 times 3 is 72. 24 times 2 is 48. And when you add those together, you should get back to 120. So Belina raised 72. Natalia raised 48. We had our ratio. We put it in a table. We added a column for the total. Once we figured out how to get to the total, we used that same multiplication, multiplied by 24, with every other part of the table. Our next question here is different, but we can still use a ratio table to solve. A Honda Civic can get 170 miles per 5 gallons of gas when driving in town. How many miles can the car get on 7 gallons of gas? So again, we've got a ratio. We've got miles and gallons. So I'm going to set up a table with my miles and gallons. And I'm going to first use what information is given. 170 miles for 5 gallons. Let's zoom in. And I want to know how much for 7 gallons. Now, there's no way to get from 5 gallons to 7 gallons in my table. So I can always find the unit rate. If I find how many miles for 1 gallon, then I can figure out how many miles for 4 or 3 or 7. So I need to find out how many miles for 1 gallon. 5 divided by 5 gets me to 1. So I need to do the same thing with the other part of my ratio. I need to do 170 divided by 5. 5 times 3 is 15. I have 2 left over. 5 times 4 is 20. So 1 gallon is 34 miles. Now that I figured out 1 gallon, I can figure out 7 gallons. 1 times 7 gets me to 7, so I need to multiply 34 times 7. Both parts of my ratio by the same number. 28, 21, and 2 more. 238 for 7 gallons. So as you're solving your work today, I want you to think about how this ratio table is going to help you with your work. So set it up, work carefully, and do your best.